Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire.
Nation, I am so happy to be back for another episode of Be More Unboxed. Remember, I told you that there were a bunch of things that I got in that I really wanted to review slash unbox. I'm excited about this one because this is actually a series of things from the same store. Aren't you excited? Even if you're not, I'm excited enough for all of us. So I thought it would be very cool to go to a discount store to see what I could get that would be good for video production. Discount, you heard what I said, right? So we're not spending a whole lot on this. So I went and I got, quote, a bunch of stuff to review to see if it would work well for production, because we're all trying to keep production on the cheap, especially if you're just starting your video journey and you're not sure what you're doing yet. Better to use something that's not as expensive. Actually, it's just better to start, right? So sometimes cost is prohibitive in terms of you getting there. Start with your phone and then add some little accoutrement. I'm going to show you some of the things that you may want to add today. So we went to, who's we? I went to Five Below. You guys know Five Below. Yes. So it's a store that has all sorts of neat little kitschy stuff for your home, for your dorm. They also have electronics, in case you didn't know. Now, I had always seen them, but I had always not paid very much attention to them because I'm like, $5, how good can they be and how long will they last? I'm about longevity when it comes to the game, because sometimes when you spend too little money, you spend your time replacing them because they keep breaking. So that was my turning my eye away from the electronics at Five Below at first. But I said, you know what? This is an experiment. Let me just see what their things are like, and then I can report to you as to whether or not they're good buys. So I went to Five Below and I got their vlogging kit. You know, vlogging is all the rage. You see it everywhere. People giving you a day in the life, what's happening, what they're up to from their point of view. So that's basically what vlogging is. And every store and their mother has come up with an all-in-one vlogging kit. Five Below is no different. Let me tell you what this comes with. So it comes with a pistol tripod, a shotgun microphone. Both of those things sound very violent, but we're going to move on. Also a universal phone mount and a 36 bulb LED cube light. It's not really a cube, it's just a light. Looks like a cube. But in any case, that's what this vlogging kit came with. And this is what it looks like on the back. So you can see all the separate components, because what I've done is I've put everything together the way it's supposed to be done. And I'm going to show it to you right now. Okay, here we are. Da, 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 da. I don't know why I sang that song, but I did. I hope you enjoyed it. And it's royalty free. So as we were talking about, all of these things, components come together. Now, let me tell you what I do like about this. The fact that each of these components has what's called a hot shoe. And it's like a little slit where things can fit in. So you'll see that on the top of your camera for a light, for a microphone, etc. But it's cool because each of these components has that, so you don't have to get another mount to be able to put your camera and your mic. So it's all encompassing. Very cool. Let's start at the top with the microphone. Now, you know me, if you know me, some of you may not, I may be new to some of you, but if you know me, my thing is you get what you pay for. And so because, oh, and I didn't tell you what I paid for this. This kit, minus the phone, was $10. Five Below has most things that are $5 and below, but they also have like kind of a premium line where things are $10 or $20. It's very few things, but they do have a few higher priced things. And obviously they're higher priced for a reason. I got a couple of those higher priced things, and this is one of them. So this is $10 and it includes all of these components. 4 components goes into $10. That's about what, $2.50 or so each for each component. So for just over $2.50, you get each of these things. So you have to think to yourself, how good can a $2.50 microphone be? pretty darn good, I have to say. I am not mad at this microphone. I have tried this already. I went to, and this is, I've had this for a while now, but in July, I went to, no, June, sorry, in June, the famous DJ D Nice came to my area, came to Miami, and I said I met up with some of the CQ or Club Quarantine members in Miami the night before. So I said, because people flew in from out of town, I said, I'll meet you at the hotel, and we got to meet in person. Pretty cool. So I said, you know what? Let me try and see if this will work for that, because then it's like I'm definitely not taking it the next day to the concert if this doesn't work. So I took it and tried it out. I actually recorded. We did a live stream on Instagram with this, and I have to say I am not mad at this less than $3 microphone. Granted, I have not tested it in a quieter room to see if I hear any buzzing or any hissing. Sometimes with the cheaper microphones, you will get a hissing sound and you'll get some buzzing interference, to be expected when you get a sound piece that's so cheap. But I did not notice that with this. And there were a lot of us. It was able to separate our voices from a lot of other noise. I'm pleasantly surprised with this. Like I said, I may have to come and do an update when it comes to being in a quieter space. But for doing what it did with a bunch of people, it did what it did. So I'm not mad at this at all. So I am going to actually, this next slate of things I'm reviewing are things that I would not get for video production from Five Below, video production or video production adjacent things from Five Below. They have a lot of great stuff, and I love the first thing that I reviewed, which was the vlogging kit. I think it was really great for $10 as it was. And now I have some things that I got that I would like, maybe I would skip that next time. So let's start with the first thing. This first thing that I have here is the Titan 3-in-1 wireless charging pad and phone stand. Now, on its surface, and I was excited because I'm like, ooh, I need wireless. There are too many wires all over this place. I need something wireless, even though this plugs in for it to work. Nonetheless, a wireless charging stand that would stay on its own, that I could just throw the phone on, was something that was enticing to me. And it doesn't have that nasty chemical that's been banned by the state of California that I saw, for example, the Samsung one had, unless they've changed them. But that was the reason I didn't get that one, because of that chemical. So this one I read doesn't seem to have it. And I'm like, all right, well, this is something. Now, it's cool because it does have the color changing LED lights. I'm all about the glam life for this because it's a plain black device. So I'm all about the glam life for this. And let me put the box down and show you exactly what it is. So it folds flat, and you can open it, and you see there's a little kickstand there, little kickstand, folds flat. You can open it and put it in one of 3 slots. We'll put it here for now. All right. So this then can be charged. It's USB. It can be charged with a USB, or if you have an adapter for your USB that you can plug into the wall, that's exactly what I did. So your phone lays here and charges, and it can lay here and charge. So you can actually charge up to 3 devices. A phone could be here, a phone could be here, and you could have some wireless earbuds up here. Now, this was attractive to me because if I'm going to be out in the field and I want to charge something, this would be easy enough to set up to charge a couple of different things. Like if I'm using my wireless earbuds and I wanted to charge those, I could just sit that up here, and then I could have like 2 devices basically charging, 2 phones basically charging. So I was excited about the prospects of this. Plus, you get the really cool LED light show when you plug it in. Now, it did work. Notice I'm saying it in past tense. It did work, but it charged things so slowly. And I only did, granted, I only tried it with my phone, and it took forever to charge. I don't know about you, but I just can't wait. And I took it out of the case because I said, well, it could be the case. And it was still the same thing. The charging was glacial a glacial pace at best. So it could be that I have one that is defective. I don't think so. It charges, but I wouldn't do this again because it did not charge fast enough for my liking. They do have other ones. This one was $5. Was it $5 or $10? I think this one was from Five Beyond. So this was $10. Five Below has some things that are $5 or $5.55 now and below, and some things that are more of the premium. So they're Five Beyond that are like in the 10, 12, and $20 range. So they've got a range of different things. So this, I believe, was $10. I think I would have been a little less annoyed if it was $5 because $10 is a little bit, much for this. All right, next up, we've got some wireless headphones. So I have these Bluetooth wireless headphones, Connect wireless headset. I guess the maker is Bass, right? Bass Jacks. Well, it is also spelled Bass as well, but Bass Jacks. And this is from Five Below. This was a Five Beyond item. This was $7. So not too terrible for a set of wireless headset or a pair of wireless headphones with a mic. So it does have a microphone. And here are the features: high quality sound, adjustable headband, built-in boom mic, and a rechargeable lithium ion battery. Of course, it would have a rechargeable battery. Well, I guess it could run on regular batteries, but you would run out of juice really quickly. So anyway, those are the features of these. They're a black pair and it's got a mic. Now, I always say that the closer the mic is to your mouth, the better the sound that you will get. So it has a mic, here they are, that folds down. So if you don't need to use them, you can put them up and then just use them as headphones. And then you can also put them down. So here's the thing as to why I wouldn't get these again. They were $7. You could say, what do you expect? Oh, and they are pretty comfy. But number one, the construction of them is really cheap. They are made of that hard plastic that, to me, if you could easily crack, and if you drop it on a hard surface like my floor, I could see something cracking or chipping. And I don't even know how the inside components would hold up against being dropped on my floor. So on top of that, I wasn't expecting much because it was $7, and they actually do have, I think, slightly better ones at Five Below that are like gaming headsets that would work better. But this was the first thing that popped up. I said, okay, I'm going to try it, because if you're doing, for example, a live stream or you're doing a video and you're not gaming, I don't know that you want bright purple, pink, red, blue gaming headset types things, right? I don't know. So anyway, I think they have some, and they do have some slightly more expensive ones that are probably better quality in construction. They are comfortable on the ear pads, but the construction, the plastic, it reads cheap. And so I guess you get what you pay for $7. And then on top of that, the sound quality was not that great. So it's one thing if you're just monitoring something, or if you're just like really, quickly talking and the sound is not that important. But if you're doing a live stream, whether it's a gaming live stream, whether it's a live stream like I do with Mediascope, or you're recording video, you don't want the sound from it. You want a good quality sounding microphone. This is not it. You can even see it doesn't even have the little windscreen or any of that to prevent plosives or popping of certain letters. Again, so it's not bad. It's not terrible. I did a recording and I listened to it. It's not terrible, but it's not the greatest. Okay, so the next thing we have that I would steer clear from Five Below in terms of video production is this video, and in this case, kind of photography. So I picked this up because I am also a reseller. I have a closet on Poshmark and I take pictures of a lot of things. Now, I knew this wasn't a full-size light box, so I wasn't expecting great miraculous things. I know it was a smaller size, not a large one. It's a mini. So with that, let's see if it basically can fit a pair of headphones, but it looks so sturdy, doesn't it? It just looks like it could take on the world. Now, the features of this is it's foldable, so it comes basically, it fits in this, right? When it comes with an LED light strip that's attached to it, so you can plug it in and then the LED light illuminates. And then it comes with a 3-foot USB cable, so you could do USB or plug it into an outlet, an adapter to plug into the wall. And then it says it eliminates shadows and reflections, which it does, which it did. And yeah, so it comes with the photo studio box, the cable, and a black backdrop and a white backdrop, which is important when you're taking pictures of things. So, for example, I knew I was probably only going to be able to do jewelry or something that was smaller in this, and that was okay. I was fine with that. This, by the way, was $5, or it may have even been less than that, to be honest. But no, I think it was $5. So 5.55, $5.55 for that. So why, you ask, was I expecting something great for 5.55? In this case, I'm going to tell you I don't know. So here it is. Excuse the blank out. It comes like this, and you pop it up and it becomes a box. And then it comes, here is the white backdrop. Okay. And here is the black backdrop. Now, here within lies one of the problems. This black is not a true black. And when I took picture, because look at this, this is a true black. These are the headphones I showed you before. And this looks like a gray almost. So it looks black in person, but it reads gray, as you can see on camera. And it's probably because of the lighting and everything else. But this is a true black, and this is dark gray, I'm going to call it. And subsequently, it looks dark gray when you're taking pictures of things. Not nice at all. The white was fine, but here's the biggest thing with this. It holds up fine, but the LED light strip, as I was taking pictures, it's a light, it heats up. And because it is attached to this light box with glue, the glue started to melt and unravel, and the light strip just kept coming down. I was like, what on earth is this? So I actually had to take a chip clip or a binder clip of some type to hold the light in place so it didn't keep coming down. Let me see if I can show you the light. So right here is the light strip. And as you can see, it's already coming apart. The glue, it wasn't even glue. It's like double-sided tape, basically, that was holding this. And of course, you don't know that until you start using it and things start to melt. And again, it was pretty gravy. It was all good until the lighting started to melt and it kept coming down. I had to hold it with some binder clips. The black wasn't a true black, and it's really not big enough. But again, this is, I want to say, I can't remember how much this was. This may have been $5.55 or this may have been $10. I think it was $5.55, in which case you're saying that's what you get. But I would steer, if you're looking for a light box, I would actually go with building something yourself, maybe from an actual box and painting the insides white or putting some white contact paper on the inside. And then you could get some LED light. And there are so many instructions on the internet that you can use to build your own light box. That for probably about the same as this cost, maybe a little more, but this is a headache. Steer clear of this, please. All right. The next thing you can see is quite self-explanatory. This is a green screen, or more so a seated gaming green screen. So here's the packaging here from Titan. It is a gaming chair green screen for streamers. And it has a bag, which is kind of cool. It folds down. It's got a carrying bag, and it attaches to your seat with straps on the back. Yay! I think it theoretically should be pretty cool. But here's the thing. I don't like these types of green screens because you have to be in really tight. Your shot has to be really tight for it look right. Because look, everything around is not in the green screen, which means it's not going to really do well. Another thing that I don't like about this, I will say this though, they do carry two other types of green screens that you can put up. I don't think they have the poles, but they have the screen itself that you could attach to a wall or what have you, some sort of frame to work. So they have the full screen itself or fabric backdrop that's supposed to be a green screen that you could use as opposed to this. This was just supposed to be easier. So another thing that I don't like, and it could be my chair, because it's a chair that kind of is adjustable, it doesn't really stand up, and I think this is pushing it back a little more. So you could probably adjust that if you had the correct chair. So this is it. So we're going to try it in just a moment, but and I'm going to have to hold it. Remember, the trick with green screen is that you need to be properly lit and your green screen needs to be lit. Now I'm cheating. I'm not lighting the green screen. I'm just lighting myself, but I'm going to do a fake backdrop so we can see how this works. We'll be back. Okay, so we're back in somebody's living room, and you can see what has happened with this. In this program that I'm using, you need to check that you have a green screen, which I do, but I don't have it tight enough, the zoomed in enough shot to get out all the other things. So what you're seeing is me in a circle with the fake backdrop, and then you have, see, look, and this is the circle, and as I'm holding it up, me in the back, and then you have my real background in the background. So this is kind of why I'm such a fan of actually kitting up your real background so that you can play around with it, make it look nice, and not have to struggle like this. So I'm looking down at it now. It's not terrible. It's not terrible, but there are some telltale signs. Again, I did not like the green screen like you're supposed to. I've just lit myself. But you see how I have this outline around myself? That's because the green screen is not only is it not lit, but I'm also too close to it. It's right behind me. So honestly, when you're doing a green screen, you shouldn't be right up on it like this. You need to be a little bit away, because what you're also seeing, you see a little bit of green around me. You're getting the reflection of the green on me from the green screen. Also, the color of this green screen to me is not quite right. It is this one is a little bit closer to a camping tent green. Well, not as dark, obviously, but it's not that bright green that you typically see with green screens. This to me reads a little dark, and I think that could be a little problematic as well. But nonetheless, it's still green. So this is not terrible, but I would have to, that you see what happens with green screen, because it is not the same. I would have to play around with the lighting to really get it good. In which case, let me just do the regular background. But this I probably would not buy because of the fact that it limits you in terms of what your shot can be. You have to be really tight in, close up, so that we don't see anything around this, because as you can see, this is a circle and it is only picking up, because I checked that I'm using a green screen, it is only picking up what is inside the circle, and everything outside of that, forget it. And then as you see, I'm holding up my hands and you can see the green poking through. So this looks amateurish at best. That's less of a function of the green screen, of this particular green screen itself, and more about technique. But I also don't like it because it is round as opposed to taking up the entire space, and you'd have to be too close in. It limits you in terms of shots, and it's really not technically the right green for keying, for chroma keying. So I would stay clear of this one. Maybe check out some of the other ones that they have. They too have two other ones, or better yet, check out something like Amazon, where they have a multitude of different production things, and get the green screen for really pennies on the dollar there. So even though this was only $5, still. Okay, and so the final thing that I would steer clear of for video production slash photography from Five Below, even though they had some great things that worked, these particular things I picked didn't work so well. So here's the final thing. And it's not because I don't like it. I actually really do. It's just because for it to work for video for your needs, you probably would have to spend more and effort and money to make it work. So in that case, it's probably not going to be worth it. And it is this universal folding light. Now, this is actually cool. It's a tri light. So it folds, and I'll show it to you in a moment, but it's really bright. It's energy efficient. It's LED, as I said. And what I saw it, and what it is it plugs into or screws into a regular socket. So, for example, if you have a closet with an overhead light, you could screw it into the socket and it would give you some nice light. It is bendable. So, here, why don't I put this down and show you what it looks like? This is what it looks like. It is actually a bulb, and as you see, it's flexible. It will flex all the way in if you needed this kind of pointed light, which is why I was like, this would be great for production. You can actually, it would give you some nice light if you were like up, if you put it, set it ahead of, like if I set it, let's say that if I set it ahead of me and had it going, it could give some nice light. So I said, oh, this might work. I could even do two and do the 3-point lighting thing. But this is what you have to remember. Most lights, even the bendable ones, are not without shades. And so this does not fit in to something without a shade unless it's like this. And you're probably only going to be able to open it so far. So if you want to use it and it's fully open state, it has to be either overhead with a socket that will work, or if you have a lamp and take off the shade, it'll work like this. But unless you have something flexible, you wouldn't be able to point it at you. So it would be good for overhead light or to bounce light off of the ceiling, but to point it at you the way a light should be, I don't think it would work very well. So I was excited when I saw it. I said, oh, we could make it work for. So if you all look and you happen to find one, I've looked all over the place and I can't find a bendable lamp without a shade that's tall enough that I could use for that. And when you do find it, it probably is going to cost more. So now you've tacked on, another $20 to this initial $5.25 investment. So if you already have something that this could screw in, it probably would work for you. I don't, so I would spend time making this work for my needs. So if I'm talking about I've already spent like $25 to make this work, maybe it's worth it for you. But maybe you could take that same amount of money and invest it in a lighting kit. You're not going to get it for $25, but you could get a flash sale where you might be able to get two for $75. So if you got two of these, that's $50. So with the setup I'm talking about. So I would, unless you have a way to plug these in and face it toward you, for video, this may not work as well. Maybe you want to think about it for overhead lighting. This could work because it's easy to remove and put back in. But for regular video light, maybe not so much. But babe, you know what? I have it now. I'm going to figure out a way to use it. But I probably would not go ahead and invest in these because it's going to cost you more money than the $525 initial investment. Hello, remember at the very beginning, I said I wanted to check out and see if this stuff worked. Some were wins, some were fails. So let me tell you about these wins that I actually really like from Five Below that could up the level of your video production. Here we go. Okay, sound is everything. You've heard me say that ad nauseum. So you need some sort of microphone. Don't ever rely on the onboard mic for your camera or phone for great sound because it probably will fail you. They're getting better, but don't ever rely on it. Use something that is made to amplify the voice wonderfully. So I don't know. I will look. I'll tell you, like I did with the other microphone from the vlogging kit, I was a little bit skeptical because for $3, how much can I really get? And in fact, this was from Five Below, but it is $3. This is a lavalier microphone, also known as a lapel mic, but it is wired. So it wires to you or clips to you, and then you plug the other end into your phone. It has a 3.5 millimeter jack at the end, and I'll show you in just a moment. So it is ultra portable, as they said. It is a lapel clip, and it is a plug and play, perfect for podcasts and live streams, says them. I would be the judge of that. So this is what it looks like. So I left the little twist tie on the end because no need to, get into it. But I did test this. So this has as you can see, the windscreen on it. It is not as substantial as some of the other. I have some quite pricey lapel microphones, and of course it's not as substantial. Here's the clip, but the clip is usually on other lapel mics, more expensive ones. It's usually at the base of the microphone and not sliding up and down on the wire. So again, this was $3. So what do you want? So, but I said, you know what? For $3, I'll try it. And here we go. It's the 3.5 millimeter input, the plug. It plugs right into your phone, or it would plug into, it's plug and play. So I'm sure this will work with your computer as well. I'll talk about the cons in a moment. So again, it's very light, very portable. The Pro, I tried it and it actually sounds good. I am not mad at this at all. For the money that you spend on this, you get actually nice, clear sound. I was in a fairly quiet room. There was no buzzing. There was no humming. This actually sounds good. So if you're in a pinch and you need a lapel mic, I would hop on over to Five Below and pick these up. You can, of course, also order them from someplace like Alibaba or Amazon. But if you need it today and you don't have time for the Amazon man or woman to come by your house, go ahead and pick one of these up from Five Below because it's for the money. Again, this was $3. It does sound really good. In fact, I'm very surprised at how good this does sound. So now let's get to the cons with this. As I said, the construction of this, I don't know how long this is going to last. Of course, if you're very careful with anything, it can last. But I've had very expensive lavalier microphone sets that the wire has become like unattached, and I've had to buy a new one, which is a pain. And that's with something that you're spending quite a bit of money on. So I don't know how long this will last, especially with the clip sliding up and down like this. So that's one thing. But if you're careful enough, I'm sure it's fine. So my thing is the construction of this is not the greatest, but for it to be just mediocre construction, the sound is really good. Okay, and another con with this is obviously this is just a microphone. So you're not going to be able to monitor sound with this. You're going to have a separate set of earbuds or a separate headset to be able to monitor any sound. So for example, if you were doing a show, let's say on Instagram Live or something like that, if somebody wanted to come on live with you, you would not be able to hear them. There is a fix to this. You could get a splitter. They have splitters where one end you would plug in your headphones and the other end you would plug in the microphone, and you'll be able to hear and talk. Make sure you plug it into the right end. So that is a fix. But again, then that ends up being more than a $3 fix, right? But again, compared to what you would spend on more pricey microphones or pricier microphones, this is a good interim where you're not spending too much. And splitters, honestly, are not that expensive. You could get them for less than $10. You can order them from any place, basically. So this is a yes. Keep in mind the construction is not the greatest, but it will serve its purposes and the sound is actually good. Okay, now let's talk about lighting that I liked. So I showed you lights that I would not buy from them. I liked the lights, but it costs too much to kit it up the way that I need it. But if you're looking to add a little bit of dimension to your videos, see, right now I'm brightly lit. Everything is like evenly lit around, which is fine. That's what I like. But say I wanted to illuminate something in my background and make it maybe a different color. There's an app for that and a fix for that. Five Below has LED color changing light bulbs. I was really excited about this one because I'm sure you've seen all these videos on YouTube, etc., where people are illuminating little things in their background with either blue light, purple light, pink light, or whatever color that they like. Blue, pink, and purple are usually the most popular colors I've seen, but you can illuminate with any color light because these are color changing. They're also smart light bulbs. You can download an app from the App Store or the Google Play Store, and it will, using your phone, you can change the colors, you can change the mood, the brightness. It's actually really very cool. So there's an app for that, but it also comes with a remote. So I'm going to show you right now. I've got my LED work light right here. Well, it's a scoop light, and I put the LED light inside. So all you have to do is screw it into a regular light fixture, and now you've got a smart light bulb that you can control either with the app on your phone or with this cute little remote. Isn't it cute? So if that works too. So you just turn it on, and look, this is actually the red. So I don't know if you can see that, but you can change it to, what I'm doing now is changing it to blue, changing it to green, changing it to this aqua, changing it to yellow. They've also got regular white light. So it looks blue, but this is actually white light. And then you can also shut this off. Isn't that really, really cool? I think this is the coolest thing ever. Now, my only thing with this is that these are small, if you can't tell. You need enough of these to make an impact if the objects are not going to be close enough to you. So I tried to use just one. I have two of these, and I tried to use just one to illuminate something in the background. It's not bright enough. So you're going to need more than one of these lights if you're trying to illuminate something with color in the background. You're not going to get a whole wash of light. You will need more than one of these. Now, these are $5.25 each, which is really a good price for a smart light bulb, but it's not as bright as you need. And depending on what you need to, it can start to get pricey if you need to buy 5 and 6 and 7 light bulbs to illuminate things. But again, chalk that up to the price of production. With that, if you get enough of these, you can place them around in the different lamps and illuminate either with the same color or different colors and add some dimension to your background instead of it just being regular and plain. And finally, the last thing in our Five Below Be More Unboxed haul review is for video and live stream is a lighting bar. So I showed you the smart bulbs, which are really cool. You can replace the bulbs and the lamps with those, but you will need enough of those to make a difference, especially if you're in a larger room. Smaller room, maybe not as big as a problem. But if you don't have any lamps and you still want to add some dimension to your room, to your set, right? Think about this. This is an LED light bar. So, and it's not upside down. This is what it looks like. It comes with a remote control. This one does not have an app, so it is not smart, but it does have a remote control very similar to the other one. There we go. Okay, so it's RGB, of course, red, green, blue. It is USB controlled, so you can plug it into something like a computer or whatever, or to a USB adapter outlet and then plug it into the wall, which is what I do. And it has 15 colors and 4 different modes. Forgot to tell you that the smart lamps, the smart light bulbs, those also have 4 modes as well. So this, if I could get it to come over here we go. This is what it looks like. Now, that's one of the downsides, that the cord is actually short. So you're going to have to use an extension cord or something like that. But, these are light bars. And I don't know if you saw, but on the package, they had a suggestion of using this with your television to light up the underside of your television if it's hanging on the wall. But here we go. I am actually going to turn this on now, and look, you could see it is cycling through all the different colors, and that is one mode. And so I'll show you. So for example, you could just do one color. This is green. This is an aqua. And I know if I turn off those lights, you'd be able to see it better, but we're not doing that today. This is orange light, which kind of looks a little bit, actually, this is the green, sorry. And then this is orange, which looks a little more amber. Hard to see on this. And then you've got this cute little magenta purplish light. It's magenta, not magenta, whatever. So now here's the cool thing. You have the flash mode. So you could do that if you're trying to have a party mood. These are also really cool lights for just if you're having an event or something, an event or having people over and a small party, a small gathering, and you want to change up the mood. But these also work very well for video. Obviously, you would probably not want to cycle through the different colors. You'd want to use it to illuminate. Again, you need more than one of these because I tried and one was not enough for a room this size. So you've got that. Then you've also got strobe. Please be careful there we go. So it's going through them. You can't see, but yeah, you can. It's actually going through them. And you've got fade. So it fades from one color to another. And then swoosh. All right, so hopefully this is not messing with you all too much. I'm going to turn it off. But it's actually nice and it's compact. You can see the size. It's not too big, but you definitely would need more than one of these if you are planning to really illuminate things. Again, think about the size of your room as to whether or not both the LED smart bulbs and these would work for you. If you're in a smaller room and you want to illuminate things, this will probably work. You wouldn't need as many. In a room this size, which is quite large, I would need at least 4 light bars. These are $5.25 each. Again, that is an investment in lighting, but not much of one. So I am all for the LED smart bulbs. Also, this LED light bar. Check them out, and also check out the lavalier mic, or known as a lapel mic as well, if you're looking for some inexpensive sound. Now, again, the construction of these things, it's $5.25. So you can't just throw them around. They're hard plastic. There is the propensity maybe for them to chip. Well, the smart light bulbs are fine. Those are fine. But something like this is that hard plastic, which could chip if you drop it on the ground. Be careful with the construction with the lapel mic as well. I already explained why. But when you're starting off on the cheap, there are some really great finds at Five Below that I would definitely recommend. So let me know. If you try any of these, leave a comment. Let me know, yeah, I liked it, or this is what I did to make it even better, because I would love to know. With that, I am going to let you go and maybe check out some of these things and have fun being more with your video and live stream. Until next time, cheers.